There is a special kind of tiredness that happens when your body is ready for sleep, but your mind is still sprinting. The body is still, but the control room is loud. You lie in the dark, and one old conversation suddenly opens like a bright tab you never clicked. The tab glows because the mind treats it as unfinished. Then another tab opens, and another, until your head feels like a browser playing 50 different alarms at once. Every tab asks for attention like it is urgent. The cruel part is that you know you are overthinking. You can see the loop, but you cannot find the off switch. Awareness alone does not always break a trained loop. People may say, just relax, but that advice misses the actual psychology of a mind that learned to stay alert. Relaxation cannot be commanded by someone else's shortcut. Overthinking is not simply too much intelligence. It is intelligence, sensitivity, memory, fear, and prediction running without direction. Those parts need direction, not shame. In psychology, the sticky version is often called rumination, the mind chewing the same thought again and again. The chewing feels useful until it becomes automatic. It usually appears around uncertainty, social moments, past mistakes, or futures that feel hard to control. Uncertainty gives the loop room to grow. At its best, deep thinking helps you understand yourself. At its worst, it becomes a maze with no exit. The same doorway can lead to insight or exhaustion. The first hidden engine is pattern detection. Some minds are extremely good at noticing tiny signals and connecting them fast. The radar notices what others may miss. That skill can be useful. It helps you read rooms, predict problems, understand people, and prepare for complicated situations. The gift becomes costly when it never turns down. But when the radar never receives an all-clear signal, the same skill becomes exhausting. Protection becomes noise when nothing can finish the scan. The mind keeps scanning tone, facial expression, timing, silence, and every small thing that might mean danger. Small signals become evidence in an invisible case. This is why overthinkers are often not careless people. They are people whose inner radar is too committed to protection. The radar needs context, not punishment. The second engine is the brain's control system. The prefrontal cortex tries to plan, reason, and press the brakes. This control system is powerful, but not infinite. But when anxiety rises, the alarm system pulls attention toward threat, and the control desk gets crowded. Too many signals can crowd the desk. At the same time, the default mode network starts producing inner movies about the past and possible future. The inner screen keeps playing while you try to rest. So one part of the brain is trying to solve, another part is sounding alarms, and another is writing endless scenes. The system is busy but not coordinated. That is why overthinking feels productive from the inside but draining from the body. Your muscles feel the bill before your thoughts admit it. It is like a powerful engine roaring in neutral. There is noise, heat, and fuel, but almost no movement. Motion inside is not always progress outside. The third engine is history. For many people, overthinking began as an adaptation, not a flaw. Adaptations usually begin as solutions. If your early environment felt unpredictable, the nervous system may have learned that safety came from anticipating everything. The child brain learns quickly from uncertainty. A child who tracks moods, footsteps, criticism, or sudden changes can become an adult who scans every room. Scanning can become a form of emotional armor. The habit once said, "Prepare early so you will not be surprised." Later, it may keep running even when danger is gone. Old protection can outlive the danger that created it. This does not mean the past explains everything, but it helps explain why the pattern can feel so automatic. Automatic does not mean permanent. Your brain is not trying to torture you, it is trying to protect you with old software. It needs an update, not an attack. The next step is learning the difference between reflection and brooding. This split is the doorway out. Reflection asks, what happened, what can I learn, and what is one useful next step? Reflection has direction. Brooding asks, why am I like this, why did it happen, and what if nothing ever changes? Brooding has gravity. Reflection moves like a path. Brooding moves like a circle that slowly becomes a whirlpool. Direction is the difference. This difference matters because thinking is not the enemy. Circular thinking is the trap. The problem is not depth, it is circularity. A balanced mind can look at pain, learn from it, and then return to the present. Return is part of health. A brooding mind keeps replaying the same scene, hoping the next replay will finally create peace. The mind hopes one more replay will close the wound. But rewatching a painful mental movie is not the same as healing from it. Healing usually needs care, not another replay. One reason the loop is hard to stop is the illusion of mental progress. Busy can disguise itself as useful. When the brain is busy, it feels as if something important is being solved. Activity is not the same as movement. But a thought treadmill can burn enormous energy while keeping your real life in exactly the same place. The treadmill feels intense because it is intense. Another reason is reward. The brain can release tiny rewards during problem solving, even when the problem is imaginary. The reward can appear before real results exist. Every possible comeback, every imagined risk, every perfect future plan can feel like a small hit of control. Control can become its own little prize. The reward is not for solving the real problem. It is for continuing the mental search. Search becomes rewarded more than arrival. This can make overthinking behave like a loop of false safety. The more you think, the safer it briefly feels. Temporary safety teaches the loop to continue. Then the feeling fades, another worry appears, and the mind asks for one more round. The next round looks like rescue. So forcing yourself to stop thinking often fails because the loop has emotional, chemical, and historical fuel. Willpower alone is too small for the whole machine. The goal is not to attack your thoughts. The goal is to change your relationship with them. Relationship is more useful than war. The first useful tool is cognitive diffusion, creating distance between you and the thought. Distance begins with language. When you think, "I am a failure," the thought feels like reality pressed against your eyes. Fusion turns a sentence into a prison. Diffusion says, "I am having the thought that I am a failure," and that small phrase opens space. Space returns some choice. You are not deleting the thought. You are taking off the goggles and noticing the movie is not the whole room. The movie can be loud and still not be reality. This distance gives the control system a chance to return, because the alarm is no longer treated as absolute truth. Distance lowers the emergency level. Another image is a river. You do not have to jump into every thought that floats past. Watching is different from drowning. You can stand on the shore, watch the current, and choose which thought deserves action. Choice begins on the shore. The second useful tool is grounding, because the nervous system understands the body faster than it understands advice. The body speaks in sensations. When your mind races into imagined futures, sensory detail can pull attention back into the present room. The present has information the future fantasy does not. Notice 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 sounds, 2 smells, and 1 taste. The senses become 5 small doors back. This is not a cute distraction, it is a biological message that says, "Here, now, this room is safe enough." Safety is learned through experience. Strong body signals can also help. Cold water, slow breathing, walking, stretching, or lifting something heavy with care. Use intensity gently, not as punishment. The point is to give the brain real data from the present, so imagined danger loses some of its volume. Real data competes with imagined danger. Over time, grounding teaches the nervous system that it no longer has to solve every future before resting. Rest becomes possible when prediction is not required. There is also a practical question that can split reflection from brooding. What is the next smallest real action? Action reveals the difference. If the thought suggests an apology, a note, a boundary, a schedule, or a decision, it may be useful. Useful thoughts point toward behavior. If it only demands another hour of replay, it may be asking for comfort rather than analysis. Comfort may be the unmet need under the loop. Sometimes the kindest move is not more thinking. It is sleep, food, water, movement, or talking to a trusted person. Care can solve what analysis cannot. Overthinking shrinks when the body feels safer, and the mind has a real channel for action. Channels turn pressure into movement. Your sensitivity does not need to be destroyed. It needs training, rest, and better leadership. Leadership is kinder than suppression. A sharp mind is a gift when it has direction. Without direction, it can become a flashlight pointed into your own eyes. A flashlight needs a hand that knows where to aim. The aim is not to become careless. The aim is to stop treating every thought as an emergency. Calm is not carelessness. You can thank the radar for trying to protect you, then decide whether the signal belongs to now. Gratitude and choice can exist together. You can thank the mind for offering possibilities, then choose one step instead of living inside every path. One step is better than 10 imaginary roads. You can let reflection teach you, and let brooding pass without building a home inside it. A passing loop does not need permanent housing. Healing begins when the mind learns that peace is not laziness and rest is not danger. Rest is a sign of updated safety. A brain that once survived by scanning can learn to live by noticing, choosing, and returning. Returning is a skill, not a failure. So tonight, if the tabs open again, do not start by hating the thinker inside you. Meet the loop with precision, not hatred. Start by naming the loop, softening the body, taking off the thought goggles, and coming back to the room. Small steps can interrupt big spirals. The mind may still speak loudly, but you do not have to obey every sentence it creates. Volume is not authority. You are not the loop. You are the person learning how to guide it. Guidance is the new pattern.